Welcome to the Stogie Palace. I am your host, Chris. Today we have a My Father La Antiguadad. I've seen a couple reviews and people said that it really has nothing to do with the Flor de las Antillas. Some have said it's the Flor de las Antillas on steroids, but a couple reviews said there's really not a lot in common with these except for the company and the nice looking artwork and the foot band. Nice sweet aroma there, and to me it tastes actually a lot like the Flor de las Antillas. Actually, take that back, more Padron-esque. Very loose draw. I'm sure that'll be just fine after lighting up. Don't ever forget to take off those foot bands. Sure wouldn't add to the flavor. So, here we go. Yeah, I'm just a little apprehensive here because online friends had struggled with this one with the strength, just turning them as wide as sheets. And the reviews I've read says pretty strong. So we shall see. This is a 5.5 or 5 5/8 by 55 Toro. Ooh, that's a good smell right there. Rated as full strength. I got this for about $9 at a local smoke shop at a My Father event. Been aging for about 6 weeks. Peppery right off the bat. Still a loose straw. I assume that'll tighten up like most of them do. The wrapper is Habano Ecuador Rosado Oscuro. There's a mouthful. Binder is Corojo and Criollo. And the filler is Nicaragua. Ton of smoke when you can get it. I'm just pulling a lot of air through there too. Right off the bat, this reminds me more of the stronger Don Pepin ones. Not so much the Flor de las Antillas. That's not nearly as strong as this. I can tell there's some strength there, but it's early. It's always kind of peppery at the beginning, most cigars. Look at that. This will be interesting. I have to draw on my memories of different cigars and smells and aromas and flavors. This one could be interesting. And I'm prepared for the strength just in case I just had a good dinner. I have something sweet and I have something cold and sweet to drink. Very nice. All right, well, good start. Draw is starting to snug up to right where it should be. Burn looks good. Aroma is great. Flavor, a little peppery, but there's some richness in there too. I probably will call this a couple different things during this review, and I'm not going to go back and re-record like the La Duena or some of the other La whatever. This is the La Antiguadad, the Le Bijou. So let's get going on this thing. About 15 minutes into this My Father La Antiguadad. Burn line is wavy and is actually a little worse than that. It's actually self-corrected a little bit. And the ash is kind of flaky. And sometimes, I don't know if you've seen ash before, I'm sure if you smoke cigars, you've seen it, where sometimes it's nice, tight white ash. Other times it seems to spread outward, and it's not real stable, stuff that will fall on you if you're not careful. So I'm having to be really careful about that. I'm not picking, it's early, so I'm not getting the strength yet, but nice aroma, nice flavors, no bitterness. I'm reminded of Padron again with the retrohale there. It's a spicy, but once again, like the last one I had, it's more of a cooking type of spice, like oh, you know, I'm terrible with the names of those spices, but how about a waft? Nice, very Very nice. On the cold draw, I got a different kind of flavor. It was almost kind of minty or mentholy, but that didn't last very long. Draw is improving. It was still loose there for quite a while. It took a lot of work to get the smoke out of it, which sounds backwards. Like a tight draw would take a lot of work, but when you're sucking in through a lot of air, you have to work at it also to get smoke to air ratio correct. So let's tell you a little bit more about this cigar, and this is from my father's website, myfathercigars.com. La Antiguadad, which stands for or translated to the antiquity, is a Garcia's second project to be developed after the mega success of Flor de las Antillas, in which they will once again embrace the authenticity and historic value of the original Cuban art. Created by master blenders Jose Pepin Garcia and Jaime Garcia, La Antiguadad is a super premium cigar handcrafted in Nicaragua using the world's finest Cuban seed Nicaraguan grown tobacco. This addition to the My Father Cigars portfolio will continue to showcase the Garcia's Cuban heritage and respect for tradition. The filler tobacco for La Antiguadad is cultivated entirely in Nicaragua on the farms of San Rafael, Las Quebradas, and San Jose, all privately owned and operated properties of My Father Cigars. These tobaccos undergo a very strict and rigorous curing process of no less than 3.5 years to guarantee exceptional quality. The Garcia family classifies the exquisite blend found in La Antiguadad as medium to full in strength, which offers complex yet balanced flavors, finished with a Habano, Ecuador, Rosado, Oscuro wrapper. There's that long name again. See the smoke coming off both sides there. That's good. Good smoke output. Sometimes it's hard to pick up with this camera. I can see it really good with the light behind the camera, but I don't think you guys can always. Burn line is still a little weird there, but it seems to be moving right along. 25 minutes in, 25 minutes in now. A little on the dry side. Really, really nice aroma. All right, well, let's keep on going. Tons of smoke coming off of this. But this is what we call pretty serious canoeing, and it seems to only be getting worse. The second third, I'm about a little over an hour into this. Second third flavor, can't really tell. It's kind of ashy, not really the greatest flavor in the middle third here. Let's fix that little issue there. This is what usually happens, that part that wasn't burning just flares up without even touching the flame to it, really. And there's probably gonna be a big chunk of ash gonna fall off here pretty soon, because the ash is not really strong on this one. This is kind of a loosely packed cigar. It's a box press. Definitely more tingle on the tongue here with pepperiness of it. And this is the kind of cigar that you see people sometimes rolling their cigar in the ashtray, kind of not tapping it off, but just smoothing it out around the edges, because this is kind of a spreading kind of ash, and flaky on the edges and fall over you if you're not careful. That's what I'm getting here. So kind of smooth it out a little bit there. I'm feeling some of the strength. I assume by the time I'm getting to the nub, I'm gonna feel a lot more. It's one of those things kind of builds up on you. The draw is much better now. Might be a little cedar in there, in combination with the ashy flavor, or two flavors I don't care for. Like most, I assume it's probably gonna change here pretty soon. I'm about a little more than halfway into it. Still really nice aroma. So let's keep on going. 1 hour into this La Antiguadad, past the band point, which is a pretty good sized band and a really nice looking band too. Oh, let's see here. There you go. Definitely put a lot of thought and effort into that, which I definitely appreciate. Came off perfectly, didn't take any wrapper with it. Yeah, flavor is okay. It seems to be going pretty quick, and that burn, still a little weird there, a little wonky. But like I said, I was warned about the strength of this cigar and how I resolve that or be prepared for it. As soon as I come out here, I know I'm gonna have a strong one. I got these little Reason candies, which is caramel dipped in fairly dark chocolate. Haven't had to resort to that yet, and a cold sweet drink helps, and I got root beer, which I've been drinking a fair amount of that just to make sure, and I am feeling the strength, a little bit of lightheadedness, but I've had stronger reactions to cigars than this. And again, just had a full meal, and it's a little warmer than usual out here. It's in the mid 70s, so once again, these little touch-ups aren't really all that required, just to even out the burn, which a lot of times isn't a big deal with cigars. If it's uneven, I'll let it catch up. That's when it's got a really strong, firm ash. It's not going to be falling all over the place. But when it's a loose ash like this, a loosely packed cigar, which is good for draw for sure and smoke output, but sometimes it cannot be so great for the ash falling on you and flaking all over the place. So I definitely get rid of the canoeing action quicker on those kind of cigars like this. The smoke volume and type of smoke is a little thinner than it was in the first third for sure. Getting to the final third here, I'd say there's maybe, as fast as things going, I'd say maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops left on this thing. So yeah, it's interesting dilemma. I mean, I want to give it high points for construction because it doesn't need relights, maybe touch-ups, but not relights. It's staying burning and putting off smoke when it's just sitting there on its own. But the unevenness of the burn is pretty noteworthy. Pepperiness picked up a little bit in the middle. Actually seems to be backing off a little on the pepperiness now, which is kind of backwards from most cigars. Seems that mostly they pick up at the end. This may still. It's worth it though. Wouldn't say it's not worth the $9 I paid for it. This is a nice cigar, like most of my Fathers. So let's get down to the end and see how it finishes up. Hour and 40 minutes in. Walked away from it for 1 or 2 minutes. And that was it. And it went out after I was saying how well it was burning. So a couple touch-ups, a relight. The aroma of this and the wrapper flavor really reminded me a lot of a Padron 1964, quite a bit. But the innards on this thing is, you can tell it's packed for strength. As far as, I don't mean tight pack, I mean they pack in the strong stuff in there to give it the strength. For me, it never really got above medium full in strength, maybe borderline to almost full. But the flavor was probably, well, along with the canoeing and all that, was probably a little bit of a low point. Middle third, not a lot. Like I said, ashy, charry kind of cedar. Last third was a little bit better, and it was pretty good on the relight. But it's still nothing I would probably be going out of my way to extend for a really long period of time with my Havana Saver. Smoke output's picking up like nuts right now. So I thought I knew where this would end up, but the construction part of it is what kept bringing it down. So it ends up with a 93. which is the same I rated the My Father Don Pepin Garcia original. Ash never really holds on for very long at all. Kind of flaky. Seems to be a quick burner for that size. It'll probably end up going an hour and a half, which is about right for a Robusto. So it's a little short for a Toro, but it's fine. Any longer, then I may be rethinking that whole nicotine strength part of it. But a little more, I was asked this question in a seminar, what I look for when I look at a cigar before I light it. And for me, something that's not always real high on my list is a lot of visible seams and veins, and this had a lot. But it still looked really nice, and of course the band was really nice, of course. Presentations are really good. But just not a real flavor bomb. It's a nice wrapper, but not enough to save what's on the inside that's really trying to overpower it. One guy's opinion. Your results may vary. But thanks for watching. This is Chris at the Stogie Palace with the My Father La Antiguadad, the Toro. Thanks for watching. I will see you later.